Y'all, I did not prepare a speech for you or anything of that nature. So, you know how I mentioned yesterday how my laptop, which I'm still currently on, it's to the point where it's like, it's just going to be like, it can't probably function anymore because it does not have the capacity to do so with all of the space, being taken over by screenshots and what I consider to be evidence of my predicament. Do I have my phone? Um, you know, the situation I find myself in. Nice 57 minutes. Oh, I saw. Okay. That said 57 a second ago. Time is it 5:13? Cool. Um, so I'm gonna just like run you down what happened today. I'll run you through it very quickly. This is not going to be a very long video, I don't think. But you know how that shit goes. Um, I woke up because I did want to ask David if I could purchase the laptop with some of the money that he'd given me to fix up the house, and make sure that was okay with him. And I was like 100% sure he was going to say yes, but I still was like, I feel better asking. And then I also let him know, I was like, and my cousin passed away, which he actually knew fairly well because he lived with us all when my grandma was still around back at McGinn in Glendale. Um, are you eating her food? Oh my god. Okay. Y'all, I'm fucking heated. Literally and figuratively. But yeah, like he was actually a part of like the closer knit family for a while. And so I let David know he passed. And he sent me a message back. It's 5:14 now, which I'll go over at the end of this story just because it's a really interesting way to end it, I guess. But I didn't get a message back from David. And I was like, okay. The Labor Day sales are going to be over. I'd like to get this today. I'm like 100% sure this man is going to say yes, that's fine. So it's like, I'm just going to go do it. But at least I fucking asked, okay? But I did wait. I waited all throughout the morning. I waited to get a word back from him. And this is not me talking shit. I'm just like saying, like, a period of time. It wasn't like right before I was getting ready to leave to go to Best Buy. That I was like, oh, I'm going to shoot off a test and just ask. No. Like, time was in between, and I just never heard anything, which is fine because that's actually like how he texts sometimes. So I'm quite used to it. But I was like, okay, it's Labor Day. I don't necessarily like to go through like the fuss and fuss of going to stores anyway, especially if I know I could just like order online and just pick it up, right? That seems more reasonable, especially when the item you're trying to get is like, oh, there's only 3 in stock. Hurry the fuck up, bitch. It's like, okay, try to purchase it on my laptop. Whatever it is that I put in my cart at the time, I changed it up a couple of I kept like finding things and then trying to understand, like, because I wanted to get like one of these guys, but when it comes to like Macs, I guess there's or something. I like just all of this word and language shit I don't understand. Okay, I need something that connects directly to the laptop, and so I was trying to figure that out myself. Anyway, long story short, my card gets declined, and I'm like, you know what? I am so used to getting fucked over in so many different ways. I'm like, maybe if I just try to like do this on my phone, maybe the website's just being buggy on my laptop or something. Like, I don't fucking know. Because that's been the case before where I've tried to make a purchase or do something on my laptop. My laptop's like, no, I'm not going to work with you on this one. But my phone's like ready to go. Tried on my phone. My phone's like, no, I can't help you either. I'm like, okay. Maybe this is like the wishful thinking. Maybe it's just like because it's Labor Day, the Best Buy website's having a struggle. Maybe if I just go in person and make this purchase, the card will work. So I was assisted by a man named Kenny who was like super, super helpful, super patient with me. I'm not the best at like communicating with people. Like I can sit in my house and do this okay enough, but you put me out in the wild, it's like where's your parent? Like you know what I mean? Like where's your mom? My ability to communicate, those skills have deteriorated. And honestly, it's not like I ever truly had them, like to be fair. Um I think I might need speech therapy at some point. Like if I really care to like learn how to finesse people and form some type of like social relationships, which by the way, I don't care for at the moment due to the nature of the reality I find myself in. I don't want this to be like a conspiracy stream. Let me just get through this, okay? Anyway, I get to the store. Kenny helps me out. I get my laptop, which is what you're up on right now. I haven't opened it yet. I didn't want to open it just to like stream and have to like set everything up and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, I can do the live on what I have going on now. And then in theory, that shouldn't really affect this laptop too much more than I've already done it. Like the amount of things I've come across and not taken screenshots of is sad. It makes me sad that I wasn't able to collect that data and like have some type of like commentary or like, you know, at least like a moment to stand up for myself or be like, see, like, look at this shit. I do, by the way, think this is odd. This is all happening right after my cousin died. My laptop also was like, hey, I'm going to fucking peace out too. It's like, what are we doing? Labor Day, by the way. But yeah, I tell Kenny like at the forefront, I'm like, hey, so have you heard of people like getting their cards declined? So I'm trying to like understand if this is like a me issue or this is like maybe a Best Buy website issue. Just like because of like maybe an overwhelming sense of like, you know, traffic or whatever. He's like, no, not. I mean, you should get a text if, you know, there's something wrong or they think it's fraud or something. And like, no, I never got a text. It's like, oh, I'm like, you know, let's just try it out. So we go and attempt to check out, and my card is once again declined. Now, at this point, I'm like, I've got to call somebody. And I am so stubborn about these things. Sorry. 7:31. When something goes wrong, I want to speak to a person. I don't want to have to go through an app and like press buttons and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, you give me a person. Okay. That's how we solve things a little bit faster sometimes. You go straight to the professional. So I get on the line with Chase. At this point, by the way, there's like a line of people behind me. Like I have created a backup. They're calling like all of the people over to help. Kenny's just sitting there. We had a bit of small talk. I do my best. I'm like, are you a gamer? I have some questions. I've never had like a gaming PC or laptop or whatever. So I'm like, what would you recommend? He's like, well, what do you play? I'm like, well, when I used to play WoW. And he's like, oh, this is what I think. He gave me some insider knowledge or scoops. And I was like, very helpful. Thank you. Because I didn't know. But I get on the phone. I'm like talking to this lady about my card. And I guess somebody canceled it. I guess somebody put the word in to nuke my card, which I'm going to tell you why this is crazy. Actually, if you look at my Discord, we can go through this together. I had made a purchase this morning, okay? Like early, I'm pretty sure. It was in the morning, right? Hold on. Oh, it doesn't say the time. It doesn't matter. I had made a purchase like very, very, very recently from 7-Eleven. I had ordered some hot wings and pizza, which I thought was funny, by the way. Casey, this one's for you. I got pizza and the wings from 7-Eleven because if you get them hot and they're really good. They're really, really good and they're reasonably priced. But I think when I was watching Hassan's stream for a little bit, the name Casey came up. I don't know what state are they in right now? Was it Pennsylvania? I don't even know where they were. I was like halfway paying attention, halfway not, as you know, as it goes sometimes. But yeah, I was like, oh, maybe that's why I ordered the pizza. Anyway, the lady helps me out to a degree, and God bless her heart. I was not necessarily understanding everything she was saying. And then she was trying to talk to me when I didn't have her on speakerphone. Because at first I couldn't find the speakerphone button on my phone. I don't know. It was like there was so much happening. I don't know if it was like me being overstimulated or just like inept when it comes to technology. Maybe it was like a mixture of the two. So eventually I figure out like I just need to go outside and I need to put her on speaker. And then hopefully it's a little bit more quiet and I can just like have a conversation with this person and try to like listen to her, like instruct me through. She's trying to set me up for Apple Pay at this point because she's like, oh no, I can't do anything else. Your card's just like done. I'm like, the point I'm trying to make, of course, is like, it's Labor Day. I'm literally doing this purchase because of the Labor Day sale. It will not be Labor Day tomorrow, right? So she understands this. And so she helps me try to set up Apple Pay. And then she puts me on the line with somebody else because we need to figure out what the fuck happened. Like, I didn't cancel my card, right? And so I get, thank you, fridge or freezer or both. I don't fucking know. I get on the phone with this guy. He's super nice as well. We hit it off fine enough. He asked me some questions. And then he's actually like, well, I have the power to turn your card back on. And I'm like, oh, okay. But he's like, well, you could use your Apple Pay card. I'm like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Like, we can order a new card anyway, because I don't know what's happening. And then I'll just use the Apple Pay. And then he hits me with, hold on, because the Apple Pay sometimes takes 24 hours. And I'm like, oh no. Like, I'm now once again back into like this time crunch. I'm like, I need to be able to use my money today to make this payment. Like, and they understand this, of course. And he's like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep your card on and it's going to stay on until you order a new one. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then he explains like how the Apple Pay works, because obviously I haven't used that and I don't have it set up on my phone. And I was like, okay, cool. And I go in to make the purchase and it works. Okay. I'm going to show you the total. And I saw this total when it got declined. Okay. And I also want to say, I think when I first tried to order it on my laptop earlier, I couldn't tell you what hour, but I want to say 4s and 5s. I think it was the minute 54 when I tried it on my laptop. And then I think it was the minute 57 when I try to make these purchases. Okay. I need you to understand this, because what I'm about to show you, 13, 15 to 16, only solidifies how fucked up this environment is. And it was at this point that I knew, because I already had the numbers and the time, whatever. But when I saw this and my card got declined, I was like, I'm just getting personally fucked with. Look at this. Whose birthday is that? Whose? Incredible, incredible stuff. Labor Day. I can't stress enough how much it's like Labor Day. A couple of other notes. I couldn't tell you when exactly I realized like this was just something I needed to be doing. But when I went outside to talk to the lady, I just found a feather that was not there before. Right? I also, while walking into the store, I want to say, saw somebody with like a navy hat. The Navy was brought up yesterday via Hassan's stream. I also want to add I have my anchor tattoo. My grandpa John was in the Navy. And then I think I have a cousin that was in the Navy SEALs, no? Woody? I think his name was. I don't think I ever met them. But yeah, like I'm just getting like operated through and like fucking thrown around like a voodoo doll. That was my shoe. But yeah, today was just so dumb to me. That shit was so fucking dumb. But, you know, we figured it out. I think because I checked out with Kenny, I will add that Kendrick Lamar, I believe, was on the radio while I was driving to Best Buy. And when I was initially trying to purchase like the laptop and whatever else I had in the cart at the time, it kept giving me Compton as my store. I was like, I don't live in Compton, but that's a little bit of a connection. And then when I was checking out, the guy at the front gave me a bag and I was like, oh, you don't have to do that, but thank you. And he had like such a cool style, but he had like the Migos glasses, like here, let me just see if I can pull them up. He had the Migos glasses on. Let me see if I can find like a match. It's a little bit. Images. Oh, speaking of images, I saw someone who kind of reminded me of Laura Bailey. I'm not necessarily getting the glasses. I mean, this is kind of it, but not really. They're more round, but like, you know, the round glasses thing going on. And I'm thinking this to myself, like I'm just connecting these dots casually, not really thinking too much of them. But I go and I start walking towards my car and I shit you not. What is this? Motorsports. Come on, like, what are we doing? Not to mention all the fucking, yeah. I saw so many license plates driving today too. At one point I found myself behind this white car. I'll just zoom in for you. And this was before, obviously, I get to Best Buy. And this one has Navy on it, right? NVY. But we're getting the 7s and 5s again. So we're getting like the Donald Trump symbology. But this car was in front of me, but it turns into, or I guess merges into the lane to my right. And I see what it's blocking, which is this car that says Titan on it and a Trump sticker. It's just like, even the 9 gets a little bit fucked up to make it almost look, you see how like the tail's a little bit off? There's like a glare to it. So 701, right? Titan, by the way, was like the nickname that I gave to somebody I used to work with at Chop Stop. Oh my gosh. Hi, David. Hey, everybody, shout out David. That, I'm just realizing, is the time that was on my dash when I took this photo. So I zoomed in for you, but I didn't even know that part. We live in a matrix and it's bullshit. I can't. I fucking hate it here. It's funny too, because I was wearing something yesterday. I just wanted to wear all black. And I kind of like dressed up a little bit. And I looked at myself, I'm like, I'm getting Trinity vibes from Matrix. Very unintentional. And then do you know whose birthday it is today? Because YouTube was kind enough to let me know. Hold on. Is it still under images? Yeah. September 2nd. What's today, gamers? What's today? There's just so much happening. So much bullshit. I don't know why I have to go through this. I don't know why anybody has to go through this. You know how annoying commercials get sometimes, or advertisements when they get played like every other opportunity, and you're just like, I am so tired of this jingle or whatever. Spilled water. It's fine. It's a little warm today. 533, by the way. It's like relentless, them trying to like peddle their own fucking like symbology. It's just like, dude, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, you projecting all of your numbers or what you believe to be your numbers, like the 5s and 7s, for example, doesn't mean anything, right? It just doesn't. Like, where are the facts to back it up? Like, we haven't even gotten to the election yet, buddy. This is like wishful thinking in such a way where it's like you are literally trying to get the environment like to billboard blast your hopes and dreams and ambitions because you know you're going to fucking lose. So, and then I just saw what my fucking laptop did. I guess I'll have to like rewatch this. What is it? Like the 21 mark? Pause my fucking mouth at the O, right? You guys are just mad that I've been fucking catching you in these fucking screenshots looking like you're sucking microphones off. Look, I'm not the one who did that. I didn't set up that fucking... Don't stand in front of a mic. It's that simple. It's that simple. You did it to yourself. But yeah, man, I'm fucking over this shit. So that was one license plate. This was another one. This is at Burbank and Victory. So I had picked up, I guess, on like the what looks kind of like 107. So you have like the RU, and then you have 19, and so Wendell, my cousin, 222930, died on. We put our dates differently here in America, but in other countries, they'll put like the day first and then the month. So I was like, okay, 19. Thank you. Thank you. And I'd already tied like the director hat to a Russian, obviously, a couple days ago, 2 days ago at this point. It's just like, more people need to be complaining about this. And the less people that do, and the longer it's just like crickets. It just makes me think I'm living in an artificial environment in which nobody is actually like legitimately conscious, which is like a shitty thing, right? Like, I don't want to think that to be a possibility. But when you can just like talk through people, like for example, like I like watching Hassan. I do. I genuinely enjoy him touching on topics that sometimes I don't even know anything about. And I think his takes are genuinely, you know, appealing for the most part. I have my reservations on a couple of things. Not to say that I don't agree with him, but I think like there's a deeper dive or deeper conversation in which he doesn't touch on, which is why I'm like, you know, there's more. What was that? But it's like sometimes I'll be watching them and then it's like all like a switch flips in his brain and it just seems as if like I'm getting targeted in some way. And I don't like, I can handle it, like, right? Like, that's not the problem. It's just like I'd like to think that Hassan, the person, I haven't met him. I'd like to think he's not like the biggest asshole. Maybe he is. I don't know. But this is a phenomena I come across with streamers, like period, across the board. Just like even just like gaming streamers, where it's like there is more communications coming through than just like the superficial like registering of the feed itself. It's like there's a bit of a layer to it. And it's typically not pleasant. Like it's not a nice recognition. I always like to say like I don't speak stupid, and I'm happy I don't sometimes, because I think if I were to always like catch onto everything that you're saying as opposed to like some of it going over my head, like I would probably like be depressed or something. At this point, I don't think I get depressed as much as I just like get angry. Like I just get angry because I don't understand why people would be cruel to like the level in which you're trying to assert them to be sometimes. But then that goes back to this idea of like, well, what if everybody's just AI generated and like they just want you to like be a react stream? Like, oh, we're gonna torture this fucking cunt we don't like. Let's see how she'll react today. It honestly feels like that sometimes. And it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. You know, I was brought up, and many people seemingly were brought up to believe the world very much is. And so I struggle sometimes to figure out how I'm supposed to respond because it's just so whacked out. And nobody bothers to come forward when they have information, right? Like nobody actually says anything of it. It's all like hush hush. And which just makes me think you're in on it, to be honest. Like if you know something about what's happening and you're not saying anything, you're just covering up, right? You're just covering it up. Which is why I have problems with the journalists and news. Because I'm like, you are talking about things as you see them, right? Anybody can see a plane flying through the sky. We all get what's up with that. But when it comes to like deeper mechanics of like, oh my God, all of a sudden, like, let's just say like the Boeing fell out of the sky or the door flew off. It's like, you know, there's more to that. Like there is a symbology to that. It's not like this happens randomly here. It's part of a bigger tactic. It's part of a push. It's meant to telegraph something. There is a larger conversation, which you never touch on. You'll talk about the physical events as they're happening. I'm sorry, I'm getting like so washed out. Oh, is that better? Okay, cool. And then you never get to like what I would consider like the meat of it. All you're feeding us is fucking, you know, chicken skin. And I'm like, yeah, that tastes good sometimes, but like I need substance, okay? I want to live a life of substance, not fucking bullshit fuckery. It is very much a theatrical life we live. William Shakespeare was so on the nose with that all the world's a stage shit. Like they knew back then. But yeah, I couldn't believe, again, just to like wrap things up. It's 5:41 right now. I try to order at the 54 mark. I try to order at the 57 mark. And then I got the fucking fat fucking man's number right there. Hey, buddy boy, who canceled my card? Because I didn't do that shit. I genuinely think somebody probably saw that I was going to try to like do this for myself today, knowing like how fucked up this laptop I'm on right now is. And they're like, we can't afford her to keep posting. Yeah, they wanted a ceasefire from Hana. Oh my God, dude, that's so stupid. Oh my God, that's so real though. They wanted a ceasefire. I'm like, no, we're going to keep with the screenshots. Please. That's what I do, baby. That's why I bought this. the technology thing. I don't understand anything. I was like, I had to like double check with him. I was like, so this has everything I need to plug into I realized my laptop has like light ports or lightning ports, just like language I'm not accustomed to. And so I was like, this is going to work with the laptop and I don't need to buy like an adapter or a wire, right? And he's like, no. It's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. And then he was like so cool because we got like terabyte? We initially got a 1 terabyte and he was like, I got a 2 terabyte. That's cheaper. And I was like, whoa. So there you go. He hooked it up. He was super kind. Sorry, I don't speak good English, the one language I know. But honestly, like everybody there was so nice and professional. I even had like a guy like outside who worked inside who clearly understood what I was trying to do for the like however long I was there in the store, like talking to people, my bank. He's like, oh, did it finally work? I'm like, yeah, it did. So, you know, it's hard to think like all of the people here are bad, but man, oh man, it's like you surround me with people all the time that just sometimes it feels that way, right? It just does. Maybe, and this is another thing too that's kind of shitty. Like some people just know how to play pretend better or they have like the nicer angle, right? When it comes to 5-dimensional chess, how I try to like make it make sense to me is like they're trying to play both sides of the board. And I do think that we live in a situation right now where it's like, yeah, I mean, this is why when I was talking about Donald Trump being like the tip of the iceberg and like the easiest like target, you know, for us all pointing our fingers and be like, you know, you're the guy who, you know, is making everything awful and weird. I'm like, I know there's like something deeper. He is way too out in the open, just like flailing around. There has to be like a puppet master. There has to be other operatives. And I would not be surprised if there's also people on the blue side or, you know, whatever. And I try to be conscious of that, you know. I'm tired of everybody taking advantage of me all the time. So I've had to come to terms with some hard truths. And it's like, just because people are nice to you or present themselves in like a more charitable way does not mean they have your best interest in mind, right? Tough shit. It's tough fucking shit. But yeah. I hate living in an interactive environment. AI generated interactive environment. I remember this one time I went to Pavilions. How far back do I have to sit for my like white fucking ass not to get blown out? Oh my God. I went to Pavilions and I think I was waiting for my Starbucks coffee, either to order it or, you know, for the drink to be made. And they had like one of the like what it appeared to be like one of those I forgot what they call them, but like bauble things, the green diamonds in like the balloon form, just like above my head. And I'm just like, oh my God. I was like, come on. Come the fuck on. I hate it here. I'm going to form a We Hate It Here like coalition. I don't know what we're going to do with our collective rage, but maybe something substantial. My whole thing with living in a place like this is like, I don't understand when people have like that amount of control. It's like plant feathers and navy hats and affect the license plates of everything and, you know, what's being played on the radio. Like that is so much overwhelming power over the environment and what's like transpiring. It's like, why are you making it so it's a miserable experience? This I cannot comprehend. And I guess it's just because they like shitting on people. Like I honestly, I don't know. My thing is for people on the ground like myself who don't have these technologies available, but, you know, understand that there's something very much wrong. It's like we need to learn how to protect ourselves and our humanity from it. And we need to create like guardrails and like safety blocks. So even when they try to like overwhelmingly, have some type of effect, we push back. We don't always just accept what they try to, push upon us, like the 5-7 symbology and like the Trump stickers and blah, 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 blah. Them projecting their idea of a preferred reality. It's like we can look at them and be like, that's a nice work of fiction you've got that you're just like pushing all over the place. Anyway, back to our chosen reality in which we like to live. I'm so tired of us just accepting what it is that they decide to have happen today and just be like, and that's the news. And we're just going to deal with it and not talk about, how these things even happen. It's just, I guess sometimes it happens and even like natural events, right? It's just like, no, there's something up. But nobody talks about it. Fucking annoying. You guys annoy me. You guys want to see today's fit? I actually really like it. So I wore a bra with a sports bra because why not? And then I have this green skirt with like slits. It's like little shorts. And then I'm in my Dolls Kill combat boots. My reality combat. I wanted to do like a different iteration of like Matrix Trinity, I think. What's that other movie? Oh, Tron. Tron's the one where they get like stuck on the computer or whatever, right? Like forced to play games or something. I don't even fucking know. Bro, nobody wants to play with you here. People just want to live and they want to live a decent quality life and they don't want to be bothered, okay? But you don't care about the happiness of the people. You just want to fuck with them. And that's where I have problems. That's what bothers me. Oh, I never showed you what David texted me. So David didn't get back to me until I swear I literally like pull into the garage, I believe, coming back home. And so the timing there is a little bit odd. And this is what he sends at 4:58. Sure, go ahead and buy the laptop. Thanks for letting me know about Wendell. If you buy can I do it this way? I'm not trying to show you like all my messages with them. Not that there's like anything in there, but like I was talking about like my dead cousin. So it's like, it's a little bit sensitive, but like, what is this typo? What do you mean catfish? And so I'm like sitting there in my garage, having just bought the laptop, having had gone through this whole fucking rigmarole of trying to get my Chase bank to allow me to use my money to buy a laptop, which is a device I need to do what I believe to be good work on behalf of myself and the people. Okay. Having gone through all of that, and I finally get home, and then I swear I'm getting called like catfish now. Like I'm getting shamed or something. Like what is happening? So I'm like sitting there in my garage. It's like, what the fuck was he actually trying to say? It's just like, the best I could possibly come up with is he was like saying, oh, if you buy a card, like if you send, now I know what you're thinking. Card is a 4-letter word. Catfish has a couple more going on than that. I'm like, I know. Okay. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt here. So I finally figure out what I'm going to text him back. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Like if I buy a card and I make sure, to put it in the fucking wording, I will put you in it. Or I can send flowers or maybe a fruit basket. Like I will do some research. But it was just like, Oh my God. As if I wasn't fucking abused enough today. I got called a catfish. Look, I know my foundation doesn't match my skin tone, okay? Okay, I know this. I know I'm not in like top form right now. Give it a second. Give it a second. One day, I'm gonna have my shit together. And then you come at me. And you know what? You probably will, because I'm already under the impression you think you've blackmailed me my whole life. And my whole thing with that is, this is like a 40-minute video, 40, 15, 16. I get to turn around and be like, human, wait for it, trafficking. Okay. And it's not to say like I don't accept like what I've done or what I've been made to do, even like when I look back in retrospect and be like, I don't think I would have done that, or like I don't like think that's me. Like I don't necessarily agree with it, right? In hindsight. And obviously like people, by the way, go through different phases and things too. So like there's a lot going on. But I'm like, until I started figuring shit out and started implementing what I consider like the picking and choosing era of my life, where it's like, yes, maybe, you're getting a lot of things pushed through you, but you can always stop and be like, do I actually agree with this? Do I want to continue forward with this emotion, for example? It's not always an action, but like, do I really want to interpret this thing this way? Do I really want to be affected by my dreams like they want me to? Do I want to have this anxiety because they've planted certain kind of like cars and vehicle colors outside my house? And I don't always have to agree. And it's been very helpful. It's been a very helpful, what would you call it? I wouldn't even call it a tactic, but it's just, I don't know. It's just like a processing tool, I guess. Like it's just a realm of assistance I didn't have before. A lot more like aware and conscious of the reality, as it were, as opposed to, again, like how it was marketed to be. But yeah, like whenever you decide to like start letting that shit fly, which by the way, I'm under the impression as well, like you already kind of are slipping things like through the wires in the tapestry. I'm just like, okay. I'm a victim of some really, really horrendous things. But if you want to focus, if you want to hyper focus on some of the things like in specific they've done to me, and then you want to turn around and be like, oh my God, look at her, or like, whatever. I'm just like, you are demented. You are being activated in such a stereotypical way, and you are just like full throttle, like for it. You are a part of a different push. You are a part of a front. I think to attack my character. And so I honestly see people like that, especially when they understand like the deeper mechanics in play. I'm like, you are an enemy. Like you have designated yourself an enemy of just like good intentions and like pure hearts. And I don't know how that's going to go over, with everyday good people who start to pick up on stuff like this if they haven't already, right? I just don't necessarily think it's going to be, whatever it is going to be as effective as they wanted it to be. But I mean, we'll get there when we get there. I already have no friends and nothing going on for me in my life. But like, I also don't care. Like, I've adapted very well to the lone wolf angle. And then I don't have to deal with people who get, operated through to, 557, who get operated through to, serve as your owl and throw little jabs at me here and there. Like, I don't have anybody in proximity to do that, right? I have my animals, though. My animals are fucking annoying sometimes. My white cat's just like sitting on the floor, belly up, just chilling. But yeah, that's what I think I covered up 4451 too. I covered everything, but yeah, that was today. A lot more happened than I thought. I don't know who the fuck canceled my card, but we figured it out. And I don't know. I feel like this type of evidence just... Oh, you know what I saw today too? Song one, this one's for you. His thumbnail of his recent video, I think it's like Arby's. He's like holding a receipt and like looking at it. I think it's longer than mine though. But still, I feel like they didn't want me to grab this number. But now that just looks all the worse for you. So yeah, and then I mean, you look at that. It's like, come on. Bullshit. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a happy Labor Day with whatever it is that you have decided to do with your extra day off, if you were, lucky enough to have it. This is my margarita. It was really good, by the way. Here, I'll show you what I got. Hold on. Jose Cuervo light margarita mix. So yeah, shit's really good. I was thinking that the light would have like a weird aftertaste or something, because sometimes you buy like light anything. I mean, even diet soda. But this was good. It went bar for bar. Oh my god, you're right. It went bar for bar. Okay, I'll feed you. Okay. I'm gonna get off now and try to... I don't know if I'm gonna open up my new laptop tonight. Just because I think I just want to chill, and I want to be like very mindful and like in the zone when I'm setting it up and getting it calibrated to my settings. I also need to figure out how to do screenshots, connect it to my Discord, blah, 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 blah. But yeah. You know what I'm just realizing this says? It's a rescue. The R on it. Sure, dude. Fuck off. That will be the end of it for today. I haven't done a YouTube video in a while. You can thank the like no memory I have on my current laptop for that. But I don't know when the next time is. We'll do another YouTube stream. I haven't really had too much to cover. I mean, I cover it every day, right? Like with my Discord and all that shit. And I feel like Discord sometimes, while it does get like loaded, like, because the days stack up, right? And depending on like how much is popping up, it's like either like in one post in and of itself, I can have up to 10 shots in which if you care to, you can like jump into and analyze yourself. But also depending on like the minute, if I'm watching like a live stream, like I can have multiple like posts within a 60-second period. And so I know it's a lot. I don't necessarily think the medium is meant to be digested like typical media. Like it's not an entertainment focused Discord. It's not like I'm trying to make it like a really like high profile journalistic like breakdown, 3 pages long, all the facts and details, like going into deeper dives. And no, I'm just going to take you with me throughout my day and show you what I am seeing. And then I will point out specific things, or I will let you know what I think of, how I'm registering the material. And for any of you who jump into it, I don't know if you even know how. You guys are tech savvy, right? If you do enjoy it, like, that's so cool. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, well, that's fine too. Not a big deal. I'm not trying to like get famous off Discord. But I honestly think like what I do is really good work. I think it's really important that we make sure that we document the current conditions. And I specifically live a life where I'm constantly being berated by like AI or like a reconfiguration of the environment around me to invoke a message or like, telegraph certain things. And like, that's not okay, right? Like, none of us should feel like that's a good or safe and healthy environment, like for the human spirit, the human experience. And I haven't ever really come across somebody who's been able to like do that and like explain some of the ways in which they can integrate themselves in the physical plane. Physical plane. It's a matrix, right? It's just a simulation. Nothing's real here. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what's really happening. I just know like I just get shit on like all the time and I fucking think it's stupid. But yeah, I really appreciate what I do. I don't know if everybody feels the same, but I do believe it's like really important. Maybe one day I'll learn how to format it better. Maybe one day I'll find a different like social media or figure out how to do better YouTube videos or something. But for now, that's just not like, I apologize genuinely if like that's what, please, if that's what you want from me, but like that's just not gonna happen at the moment. And I also, it's like, it's not like I'm trying to like do things for clickbait either, right? I feel like a lot of YouTube videos sometimes it's for like the drama of it, and I'm like, no, this is my real life on the ground as it's happening every single fucking day. Cue helicopter. Maybe one day I'll get like a live camera, like cops are supposed to wear. And I'm just going to look at it like in the morning and be like, get ready with me. And then go, with me throughout the day and then like put it on my chest and like just literally, you made me bite my tongue, and then have you like literally live a day in my life with me, because it's fucking crazy. I hate it. And it's not to say other people don't also have a similar experience, but it's like, do you all get trolled this much, or is it just me? And if it's just me, it's like, well, clearly I must be saying something or doing something different that they don't like, which I would think would be a good thing, right? I don't know. That's the logic. That is the logic trying to logic itself out. But yeah, we'll see. I was going to actually, speaking of live streams, thinking of this, not event, but I have like a movie I'm going to go to later this month, I believe. I'm going to go see Howl's Moving Castle at the Americana in Japanese. I've never seen it in Japanese. I bought myself a ticket. So what I was thinking, because, I don't have chat. Chat's probably in the bathroom still. I've been literally carrying around chat like this and then setting him down or them down, like wherever I go, pretty much. Chat is now a running bit in my household. But I was like, oh, chat needs clothes. I don't want naked chat. Like that's weird. I don't want that. So I was thinking that I would take and live stream me driving to Glendale, parking, and then walking into Build-A-Bear and buying chat clothes. And like, I don't think I'm going to have an interaction. It would be cool if I had an audience to be like, okay, guys, let's vote on what you're going to buy this time around. And then like I don't know, every other holiday or something, we go and do it again. Like what's chat's new fit? But yeah, I don't have an audience for that. So instead, what's going to happen is I'm just going to walk around with chat and live stream it on YouTube, probably via my phone, if I remember to do this. And we will clothe you. We will clothe you, chat. And then I'll end it and I'll go watch my movie afterwards. It's just like the most pure hearted, like, that's my idea of content, okay? Like, I don't know what you want from me. Everything else is just like me documenting bullshit. But like, if I were to make content, it's just like cutesy shit. Like, I have enough drama in my life, you guys. I don't need more. Oh my God, I have rambled on for so long. Okay, I'm gonna go for real now. Peace and love, as Will says. Not that you guys really want that with the way all y'all are acting, but yeah, I will catch you next time.